Hey everyone, this is YaYa. I am a mystic, energy intuitive, and unifier on a mission to help bring people back home to love to the collective. Um, funny day today. I love the endless miracles that I keep getting because I'm super grateful. And I keep telling the universe, hey, keep it coming, right? So, update on the trash. I don't know if I mentioned this last week. I don't remember when I restarted my YouTube channel, but so last week I spent some time cleaning up the neighborhood and picking up trash that this one gentleman who lives across the road from us had been leaving. And I only know this because for the last 4 to 6 months I've been observing him, right? So I'm coming from a place of experience when I'm talking about this. So literally, I picked up the trash last week. Not even an hour later, I was on my way leaving the house, and there was cigarette butts and beer cans on the road again. And I knew who it was, and I was just really, really upset. And I told the universe, all right, universe, you have a week. You have 1 week to help me figure this shit out, to be able to speak to him, because I really don't want to have to talk to him because I'm not going to have any kind words. Because I really feel like we need to be mindful of our land. Even though we all have our own piece of land, we all share the same road and we all live in the same neighborhood. So we should all care for it equally, you would think, right? So, it's Tuesday, July the 8th. It's Grandma's birthday. Happy birthday, Grandma. And I'm hanging out, in the sunroom. I'm working on getting a quilt ready for this auction that's coming up, part of a golf tournament for Operation Surf. And this lady rolls up in one of her little golf carts, and she's got this cute little wiener dog. And Grandpa goes out to talk to her, and I give them a few minutes to talk, and then I'm like, okay, I want to know who this lady is. So I go out there, and I'm talking to her, and it turns out that she is the wife of the man that was leaving the beer cans and the cigarette butts. So I went and talked to her, and I'm like, hey, so I don't know if you know this man, but there's a man that drives this kind of car, and he leaves his trash out on the road. And she's like, oh, this car? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm only saying this because I've been observing him the last few months. So I have a feeling that he is the one doing this. And she stops for a second and she's like, well, that's my husband. Apparently they had an agreement a long time ago that if he wanted to smoke and drink, that he had to do it away from her. So he does it in his car, which, they have that agreement. But then she's like, oh, I'm so sorry that he does that. I guess he litters out on their property too, and she's not happy with that. And she's like, well, I'll have to speak to him with tact. And I'm like, yes, hun, yes, Guten tact, yes, of course, in a loving manner. And I'm like, as I was going to give him a week and speak to him if I caught him by the mailbox or something. But I was like, I think he's been doing pretty good, because the last time I picked up his beer cans, he was out in the front of their property. And I kind of held the beer can up like, hey, and I went like this, like no more littering, basically. So he kind of stopped doing it. Thank goodness. I'm really grateful. So I let her know that. And, but she did mention that if he does it again, that it's, obviously she'll speak to him in a loving manner that's firm, but hey, we got to stop doing this, right? So we have dinner, a little bit of time goes on, and Grandpa got this idea to start pressure washing the van at about 6 o'clock this evening. And he's having a hard time with the pressure washer, and my aunt told me, hey, keep an eye on him. And I'm like, yes, of course I'm going to. So something told me to grab my shoes and go check on him because he went to our back barn, which is like, I'd say maybe about 500 to 1,000 feet from the main house. And when I went, by the time I got my shoes on, he had already made it back up to the top of the property, and he was by the pressure washer. So he's fiddling with that damn pressure washer, trying to get it to start, right? And he's getting resistance and resistance and resistance. And through my experience with energy and the whole lesson of perfect place, perfect time, I had mentioned, Grandpa, you think we should just do this in the morning? Like, I can definitely help you wash the van before we head out tomorrow. Because we're going to Morro Bay to take care of setting my grandma out to sea. So, yeah, I understand him wanting to, make the van look decent before we go. Totally fine. But I'm like, don't you think we should do this tomorrow? And he's like, no, I want to get it done. So he finally gets it going. He's standing by the pressure washer. And I'm washing. I'm like already on the van, like washing half the van. And then he wanted to finish. So I'm like, okay, Grandpa, that's fine. And I'm like, you need to grab your cane though. And he's like, I can't hear you. And I was like, I should have just grabbed his cane and handed it to him, but I didn't. I was like, whatever, okay, whatever. So not 2 minutes later, like I went back in my room to take my shoes off, and I come back in here and I'm starting to iron again. And then I hear my name being called. And I look out and he's on the ground. He's on the fucking ground. I don't mean to laugh, but it's like, when you hit this level of your gift, like I've always known I've had psychic gifts. I just had numbed them out and suppressed them because for a while they kind of scared me. And there was a time where people wouldn't listen, even though I fucking told them, hey, this is what's going to happen. Like movies, I can't watch movies because I feel the energy of the movie. Most of the time I'm like, oh, this is what's going to happen. And sure as shit, it happens. So I come from a place of experience and knowing with these things, right? Someone asked me, how do you know? It's like, I just know. I shouldn't have to explain that. I just know. I just do. So, he goes out there and he's like, all right, I need help up. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I told him basically like, I told you that we probably should do this in the morning and you were given resistance. And he's like, I don't need the lecture right now. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So we get him up, onto his butt, and I kind of like kneel behind him. So he has me as a chair, cause I didn't want him to fall backwards. And I came back inside and got the walker for him and got him up. And, it was just so funny. He's like, I don't need the lecture. And I understand that. But with anything, guys, when you get to the place of love and you're connected to the universe, if you get any form of resistance, any form, like in this example here, like the pressure washer not starting up right away. He had to really like lighter, starter fluid, crank the thing to start it. If you're getting any form of resistance like that, just drop what you're doing and walk away. Because that is literally the universe telling you it's not the perfect place and it's not the perfect time to do it. You got to listen to your gut and the universe. The universe speaks to us in signs, symbols, synchronicities, and messages from either guides or angels or humble messengers, whoever, whatever you want to call it. But it is super important to understand that resistance, that maybe it's just not ready yet. Even if it's as simple as pressure washing your van, right? So, as I always say, you do you, boo. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't, all right? I love my stories. They're so fun. All right, y'all have a beautiful night. I love you.